and welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we embrace life's challenges, we lean into the growth, and we find light in the darkness. Hello! Hi, my name is Natasha. I will be your host today, and I am so very excited to be here. I feel like my eyes are so sleepy right now. Like, I can't even, I am seeing halos almost at the light here. Like, whoo, did somebody turn on the lights or what? But anyways, super bright. Oh my, I literally, everything is fuzzy at this moment. And I don't wear contacts or anything, although I am doing that whole aging thing. And I'm like, my kids are like, Mom, you're starting to look at your phone like this. I'm like, no, I have 20/15 vision. I don't need any readers. I think I do, but that's okay. I'm a 48-year-old woman, and if I need a little reader assistance, okay, that's fine. But so far, I'm getting by with what I got. My goodness, like, if I could just refuzz. So, pardon the pixie dust in my eye right now. My goodness. But today, I wanted to talk about this notion of rebuilding, right? So here I am in the thick of things. I'm in the very early stages of a divorce. I had been in a separation. It really was a confusing thing, but it was a separation technically since March, I suppose, but nothing had changed. And so again, it was kind of like one of those boy that cried wolf, girl that cried wolf, whatever you want to call it, scenarios. And I kind of held this hope. I was like, yeah, separated, but I never did anything differently. My life stayed exactly the same. And, for me, maybe it was a form of denial. It just was yeah, I'd say on here once in a while, I'm a separated woman. And oh yeah, by the way, but it never felt like it. It was just oh, okay, here's some other label. And I really tried to embrace the idea of it all. And in my mind, in a fantasy way, it just meant peace, right? It meant that finally, we would be at peace. We had been in limbo land for so long that it was just frick, fine, whatever. Here's some relief to just know, are we in, are we out? And have some direction. Sitting in the limbo is just kind of torturous. So anyways, and then unbeknownst to me, I go on a cruise, I'm on this high, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling, autonomous. I am so excited to see my family because after day one, I was ready to jump ship and swim home and all these things. And my whole world came crashing down. My world has always been my family. And I didn't understand then what I know now. I didn't realize how big of a player Chris was in my life, how much I worried about him and how much I thought about him. And it shouldn't be a surprise, but it just really surprised me. And what surprises me more is the effect it has on me still to this day. I feel heartbroken. And some days it annoys me. It irritates me because I'm I want to hate him. And I don't hate. I'm not a hater. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I don't want to hate him. But I do. And I'm frustrated that all of these things can happen. And I can be in this very state where I am today and still want some form of a relationship with him. And it's so conflicting. It's so confusing. Have you ever felt like that? Perhaps there's a relationship or a job or somebody that's done something and really hurt you, broke your heart, hurt you. How could this be? I trusted you. I loved you. I built a life with you. And yes, it was far from perfect, but you were mine and I was yours. And we were supposed to do everything we could in our powers to protect the other person, not harm them. And so it's been this really crazy roller coaster because every day I wake up at between 5 and 6 and it's the first thing on my mind. I start thinking about it and it's just this whole process. It's very quiet in the house. So it's almost okay, look, just let it out, get it out. And the heartbreak. And today's theme, for whatever reason, that just kept coming back was you don't have to leave. Do I love him still? should I be fighting for my marriage? Should I be fighting for this? And then is it the reality of what it is? Or is it this man, husband, and lover and all friend, all these things that I want him to be? Is it the potential, or is it the reality that I'm missing? And I don't know. And then I feel all upset and in knots because it's Friday night and I know he's going out, and he's going out with somebody, not me, and doing things that, I don't know what he's doing, so I just, it makes it feel even worse. Like I just feel so just devastated in my soul. And as I was sitting in my room, working on some things, making calls, making progress, doing all the things that I have to do in order to survive at this time, I just kind of started to feel my walls cave in on me. And, again, I had talked to two people, and like one of them was like a divorce attorney. He's like, and I've been doing this since 1997. Like, I'm going to just, I've done every form of divorce, wealthy, low income, straight, gay, whatever. I've done them all. I've seen it all. He said, the first thing I want to tell you is just because someone's moved out or just because things are, it doesn't mean that it's over. Like, he's like, I want to get that out first. And I was just like, I almost took it as like this weird, sign that like, this is kind of what I was thinking, but then is it really what I'm thinking? And so it's just very, very confusing to sit with and process. And it's like, where is this coming from? Is it my abandonment issues? Is it, the fact that like, I don't want this person to leave, and I don't leave people. Like, I'm a loyal person. I will stay even in, when it's not good. I will commit to that. And, it's really conflicting, and I feel so unsure. And I just want a reason to hate him, because when I hate him, like, when I get upset or mad, like when something is like so heinous, like, then I'm just like, it makes it easier for me for whatever reason. But then that feeling, right? It's a wave, right? So the anger comes, but then it goes. And then I'm like, well, I'm not a hater over here. And I don't, like, I just don't sit in that for long. Like, I can't, I ride the wave of the anger, and then it lets go. And then it's like, my heart is still there. Like, my caring, my humanity is still in here. And I feel so like sad. I feel so heartbroken, and I really have to sit here and figure it out. Like, what is it I'm feeling? Do I want to even attempt, even if he would remotely want, like, do I really want that? Or is that what I'm just thinking I want? So it's just so confusing. But on the same turn, when the walls started crumbling in on me, like, I felt like all of a sudden, and this is like, usually I'm a stoic person, like in my before my healing journey kind of thing, I thought I needed to do everything on my own. I would feel these things, I would process it, I would think about it on my own, and then that was it. There was no relying on anyone else, because I learned early on, I don't have parents to rely on. I don't have a lot of family to rely on. Like, it's just me, kid. Like, rely on yourself. But that got me in trouble, right? When you only have one perspective, one viewpoint, it really gives you this limited, amount of options, this limited wisdom, right? I only know as far as I know. I don't know anything beyond that. If I haven't learned it, then I can't even apply it. So maybe out there's something. So today was the most beautiful gift. And I would say even within this last 24 hours, I've had these remarkable people come into my life for various different reasons and in various different things. One is like, a colleague. One, like in particular, like these are the people that have helped me through today. One is my therapist. One is a neighbor that like literally was an angel, because as I sat in here and I was working and doing all these things, I could feel like I just had this crushing feeling in my gut, like a something's bad's about to happen, like and I just, when I would get these bad feelings, I used to like call everybody I loved and be like, drive careful, do this and I'll be careful today, like, because I just felt this like crushing feeling. And angst, and I didn't know really where it was. So I went for a walk, even though it was like sprinkling outside. Um, and originally I'd asked my son, but he was like busy and then forgot and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I actually just need to be alone. I did my 10-minute silent walk, but it was actually a 20+ minute silent walk. I left the phone at home. I was like, I don't want any distractions. I just need to be outside. And I did the whole thing where I was like, I got out there and I could feel like my angst. And I just did these like really like intentional breathings, where I was breathing in and then the long breaths out. I did the whole practice of being like, okay, what are 5 things I can see? What are 4 things that I can hear? What are 3 things that I can feel? What are 2 things I can smell? And what is something I can taste? Now, the taste one, I'm like always like, nothing. I haven't eaten yet, or whatever. Like, there's no taste. Toothpaste, So that one I always get like, whatever. On the walk time, you could do it other times, and maybe I just would have eaten something. But every time after I eat, I brush my teeth. So I don't know. The taste is never like anything like spectacular. But I say all this to say, like, having to get into that like regrounding place and being out in nature and hearing the birds and hearing even the traffic. And all of a sudden, as I was walking, I saw my neighbor and I waved. And then there was just something like about her that was like literally an angel. And I went running. I was just like, and she has been through a divorce, and and then she is now a widow. She lost her husband quite a few years ago. Great guy. He would always like bring us over food, and he was just like, he loved to cook, and he would always bring something over. When I gave birth to my kids, he'd bring it over. And it was he was a remarkable man. Loved his accent. It was like a Matthew McConaughey over there. Loved it. Loved the accent. Just this real Southern gentleman, and I adored him. But I saw her, and she had shared a little bit of her journey. We've been neighbors for many, many years, and her personal story. And there was just something about her, and I just ran, and she just hugged me, and she's like, "Oh, honey," like, I'm like, it's like, why don't, like help, and it was just so nice to have a hug. And it was so nice for me to have the courage to just literally run and be like, I need a hug. Like, and she's offered many times, like, I'm next door, just come on over anytime. Like, you need to talk or anything, vent, just come over. And both my neighbors on both sides, who are both widows, have offered that, and I haven't accepted, but just doing that, like, it just felt like home. It just felt like I'm gonna be okay. And she gave me some solid advice, and she gave me some real, like, things to think about. And I really, really, really like appreciated that. Like, it just was like, I was like, you were like an angel. Like, when I saw you, I had to come running. Like, I just did. And then I finished off my walk in the rain, and I just kind of thought and sat with, some of the things we discussed and what it was I was feeling. And, I am not mad at myself for feeling these things. I've been married to this person for 25 years, good, bad, or ugly. Like, I got married when I was 22, right? And then I had my son at 23. Like, this is natural. Like, this is all I know. He is more constant than anybody else has ever been in my life, even if he's inconsistent, right? Like, and even if, so it makes so much sense, right? In some turns. But I also learned in this process, number one, the value of a community, right? The value of saying, hey, I don't need to navigate this alone, And that really propelled me. I never call my dad and ask for advice, but I was like, I need a male's perspective. And he too has recently been through a divorce. And I recall him saying, apart, like, should I just go back? Like, it's like, it's understandable, right? You have these families, and you have these ideas in your mind of what life is going to look like and what you expected it to be like, and it's not. And he gave me some solid advice as well. And even my mom did. And, these are people I don't typically reach out, but this is the level of like, I need data. I need resources. These people have all been through this journey. My mom has been married twice. My dad has now been married 3 times, So I felt very proud of myself for reaching out. And then of course I am my therapist, and we made a lot of progress there today in that kind of realm. And I love that she supported me. She was like, if you want to go back, I support you. If you want to move forward, I support you. Like, there was no judgment or anything, and no judgment from anyone. Like, nobody said anything. It was more like, what is your experience? What is it you want? You know, is this a person you can see yourself spending the rest of your life with when your kids are no longer an equation? You know, do you love this person? And so these were just really, really, really great questions. And yeah, of course, there's parts that I'm like, I really want to sit down and honestly answer these, because right now I'm so overwhelmed by the emotions, right? And so I really made the decision to, like, here we are where we are, and I can be two things at one time. I can be really hurt, but I can still love him. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means at some point in time we work together. It would take a dump truck's load of work. Like, it would be, the mountain would be so high of work that needs to be done on both parts, right? In order to come together in a healthy fashion. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't know. Like, I'm so confused, right? There's a part to me today that is like, yes, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's really, really worth it. But then again, the reality of it all is like, how was life here these last few months? It was pretty hellish. It was pretty bad. It was stressful. It was hell. Like, it was war. It wasn't peaceful, happy home or anything like that. Like, it was chaos. And I don't do well in the chaos. And the funny thing is the chaos is gone, and I'm creating all these chaotic moments in my own life. And it's like, hey, we should be celebrating and partying right now, like enjoying the peace and namaste and all that stuff. So I don't know what's going on. So we're gonna it's all gonna develop. You know, I'm sitting here eating the popcorn with you guys. Like, what's gonna happen? What's she gonna do? I'm curious. Like, where do we go from here? So again, I think it's also because I, pulled up these texts and emails from these last month, and reading the reconciliation and reading the words all over again and putting myself through torture. I'm admitting it. Hi, my name is Natasha. I am currently torturing myself, like reading old texts from my soon-to-be ex who moved out, got a girlfriend, is not helping to support the family. Like, it's cuckoo. Like, it doesn't make sense, but that is love, right? Like, sometimes love doesn't make sense. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. It's a connection. It's a bond, and it doesn't always make sense. And that's where I'm at today. And I realized that there was, in addition to the community aspect, it was this notion of rebuilding my life. And I really appreciated that, because again, I had a good friend who told me, that, if I keep looking back, it's going to be hard to move forward. And I'm leaving myself once again in limbo. And I don't know if it's because I was in limbo for so long, and maybe I'm not really in limbo, because maybe even if I wanted to get back together, maybe his text that said he wanted to reconcile, he didn't really mean, or, whatever. So I don't know what his experience is, what he wants to do, what his thoughts are, because we haven't talked about these kind of things. And there's been like a lot of hurt both ways. And, I don't know, but I do know this. Like, I took this opportunity. I had a friend who invited me to this heated yoga today. Okay. Usually no, I did it once, and I was like, yeah, that was enough for me. And usually it would have been something I would have been like, nah, but here it was, a Friday night. My kids are all busy doing the things that my kids do on Friday nights. They're, they're all here, but not here, except for the one in New York. She's off, having her beautiful birthday celebration off in New York. So I'm so excited for her. She went to Miami. Now she's in New York. I cannot wait to hear about how beautiful New York was for Christmas. This was a bucket list item for her. This is a dream come true. And I just wish I could have seen her face experience it. Like, but I'm so glad that she gets to have this experience. And I cannot wait to watch her light up as she shares this part of her journey with me when she returns home. But I've got my 3 boys here. It's Friday night, which means it's gaming night. You know, nobody's sitting here like, hey, mom, you know, like, so I come home and I think what makes it harder is just knowing like he's going out and living this other life, and I come home alone, you know, and I have my kids and that's a beautiful thing, but it's a different experience, right, than being with other people or in other things like this. So like another adult or something like that, but they're adults, some of them, but you know what I'm saying, right? And so that made it even harder, right? Like, but then again, I was really grateful because I get to do that. And so my girlfriend had invited me to do the yoga class. And so I said, okay, great. I'm going to try something new. Very challenging, very fast, but it was so out of the box, right? Like every yoga class I've ever taken has a very kind of similar playlist. And the next thing you knew, this had some like upbeat music, like I was singing and dancing along in a yoga, and I'm like, wait a second, I'm not doing what's naturally, you know, a yoga thing. And this lady was beautiful. This yoga instructor was just so, like, I was in tears at the end. Like, it was just, she said just the most beautiful words that hit me at home, and it was right when I needed to hear. And it was like beautiful and loving in the beginning. It kicked our butts. And a big part of it, I was like, holy smokes, like I am in shape, but wow, this is a whole heck of a lot. And I had to be very cautious with my sciatica. So I was like, okay, let's, you know, use these things here. Let's go cautiously, being smart about my things. And then wrapped it up. And that, you know, was the second time that the tears just kind of like flew. And I felt very safe, and I felt very loved, and I felt really proud of myself for, instead of just coming home and feeling sorry, like I flipped the script. I was like, I'm going to rebuild a new life. And that's what this is about. It's about the fact that everything is crumbled down, and I don't need to sit here in the rubble. I don't need to like look around and be like, why did this happen? And what could I have done better to prevent this disaster from occurring where everything is crashed to the ground? It is what it is. Like, straight up, it is what it is. Like, I can't change what has happened, but I can rebuild, and I can rebuild even better. And so today, taking this class and then experiencing this class in a way I never anticipated, right? Like, I was in shock because I was like, hold on, like there is Pitbull on here. There is like there is Black Eyed Peas on here. Like, wait a minute, what in the playlist is this? Like, this is so different. And especially coming from a dance class where my energy was already high, and coming into that, I just felt really empowered and beautiful. And again, like I said, for me right now, particularly, I am enjoying the yoga classes because each one, I take back my power. Every time when I go into the yoga class, I'm like, Miss Yogini over there, how you doing? So you can go ahead and take my husband. You can go ahead and bust up my family, but you cannot take yoga from me. I'm going to take my power back, and I am going to embrace it. So again, I say thank you. Thank you to her, because I am getting reacquainted with this practice that is very different than what my favorite things to do are, but it is also a part of it that's helping me through these injuries. I keep the same injury because I'm like, okay, I'm having this injury now, and I'm watching back film where I had that injury back then. Like, this is a chronic thing. I can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So, you know, really finding these alternative ways to nourish my soul and nourish my body instead of just constantly doing the same thing, I think is really healthy. It's part of that living life in balance, right? Like I talked about on here, I tell my kids all the time, it's like life is a piece of pizza, right? You want to give it even slices, you know, a slice for here, a slice for this. So I think integrating this is really special for me. And I had a friend invite me, and I just was really glad. I had a couple other friends in there, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're here. Like, it's so good to see you. So like, it was such a welcoming place, and it was such a beautiful thing to think, I could have come so far from like literally hating yoga about a month ago to where I'm like, no, I'm taking my power back. And that's the same thing that goes with everything. Like, yes, I want to hate Chris and I can't. He's still the father of my kids. We will be intertwined and intertangled for a lifetime. There will be kids and grandkids and weddings and all those things. There is no, like, I can cut you off cold turkey. I mean, maybe in some ways there is. I don't know. I cannot be the person I am and do something like that. It just isn't in my soul. Like, I will learn to accept if you do it to me, but I cannot do it. Like, I just cannot do it. It just is not in my heart and soul. And yes, that doesn't mean we talk every day, right? But it does mean, you know, especially at this time, I understand the gravity of how far we are connected, because there are so many individuals that, you know, came from the two of us, and they're at the age where things are going to start growing and changing. And yeah, so we will be connected forever in whatever form it is we are. And that's, you know, for me, a big TBD. I don't know what his stands for, but I really want to define where I'm at and what I'm feeling so that I know the right direction to go, so that I can understand what it is I want and where is this coming from? Is it coming from fear? So in the meantime, as I process those things, I really want to focus on what is it I know right now? What is it I know right now? I know he's not here. And what is I know is he has an apartment. He's gone on dates with a girl, and he gives very minimal amount of support. Like these are the facts in front of me. And based on these facts, I have to make decisions, right? And so my decision is to rebuild. My decision is to say, hey, I am a powerful, beautiful, funny, energetic woman. And this person, these things in me are meant to be shared. It's not meant to be sitting here and being all consumed on a relationship that is currently in the past. So part of that is the rebuilding, like I said. So having these experiences, and I still, just so you guys know, I literally cannot see. I am just seeing halo of a big ring light right now. So if my eyes look wacky, this is why. I need to hit them with some eye drops or something. That is 10:30 at night, and I'm ready for bed after that heated yoga. It was hard. It was holy crud. It was the amount of planks and oh my lordy, we had weights at one point. I don't know. I said at one point I just sat back, and it was hot. I was sweating it out all over the mat. I was like, I'm a hot mess in here. It's like a sauna. I was like, whew, I thought I sweated a lot in dancing. This was a whole, and then I asked my friend, because she lives in the city next to me, I was like, do you just go home wet like this? I am so wet. And she was like, yeah, I do. It's kind of gross, but I just do it. I'm like, okay, then I think that's what I'm going to do. So I would just get home and shower. But then I forgot I have to tape. I didn't tape this morning. But anyways, so I say all that to say, part of the growth is, number one, being appreciative. As soon as my yoga class was done, I, laid there for a little bit. I grabbed my bag. When I was getting ready to leave, I take a glance at the phone, make sure the kids didn't text and need anything. And there was this beautiful text, and it was from my youngest son. And I could just cry thinking about it. And maybe that's why I've done a lot of crying today, but I could just cry. And he sent me a message, and he just says, I just want you to know you're a really good mom, and I hope you know that. And I was like, thank you. Thank you, sunshine. Thank you for seeing me, and thank you for knowing. The sweetest thing to say to me. Nothing was prompted. There was nothing that happened. And just that this 16-year-old boy thought of me and appreciated me. It just made all this hell that I've been through, it just made it worth it in a way, because no matter what's happened, I am still loyal to who I am. I am still showing up as a good mom to them, and I'm still able to do that and navigate that even under extreme pressure. And so like a diamond, right? They're formed under extreme pressure. I do believe that beauty will come out of all this. It's just going to take me a minute. and I'm getting there and doing things and having gratitude for my kids, gratitude for my friends in my community, gratitude for the glow up method, gratitude for every little thing that's around me that I get the pleasure of experiencing. And then this opportunity to do new things, right? Because my life is in a transitional phase. And so as I get more comfortable trying new things and realizing like, hey, this isn't what I was expecting it to be. Hey, this was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Hey, this has a lot more connection. Makes me realize that, yes, maybe today it was yoga in the safety of my gym, but maybe tomorrow it is, doing something else that gets me out of my comfort zone, having a new job, meeting new people, going on new dates or doing, not right now. But I'm just saying in general, the more we try new things and we see that it is safe and is fun, and if we don't like it, we don't have to continue to do it. There's no pressure. It's a beautiful thing, and it's helped me on my journey. So even despite feeling very sleepy and my eyes feeling crazy, I feel so re-energized and safe compared to where I felt this morning, where I was very on edge, worrying the worst things were happening and having literally just a broken heart and crying and crying and crying. And just, I made it through. And that's where I really want to say I'm super proud. And so for you, if you're experiencing anything like this, if there's somebody that keeps harming you and you still love them, I'm sure you're frustrated. I'm sure I'm sure you're confused. Like, why does this happen? And you're not alone. And it's not going to always be this way. And you do have the power to change. And you do have the privilege to make whatever choice you want for you. And that isn't my right to judge you, right? Like, you do whatever you feel right. This is your life. It isn't my life. And so at the end of the day, like, we're here to support you. But if because I go back or go with or go whatever it is, it doesn't mean I'm not me. It doesn't mean that I'm making a bad decision. It means I'm living a life that makes me proud. And that's the question I need to ask myself right now going forward, is like, would reconnecting with him make me proud? Like, I need to figure that out. I need to find that out. I need to explore that and take that time and energy to do that. So I say to you today, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making it this far. Big suggestion. I listen to myself at 2x speed. I like it better. Today I accidentally was listening at regular speed. I'm like, speed it up, lady. Like, come on, gotta go. Get it going on. So, if you want to, go ahead. You take these 30 minutes to 15 minutes at 2x speed and you got it. So that's me over here when I rewatch. I'm figuring out what the heck was this episode I taped 8 months ago. And it's been, like I said, very cathartic, because I'm like, oh, like, these themes are still popping up. These things are happening. So there is a ton of learning, even from my own self. It's past self speaking to the future self and the present. Very cool experience. So I say all this to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so proud of you. I support you no matter what you're doing. No judgment. This is your life. Live it to make yourself proud and forget what the rest of the people say. Second, if you can please do me a big favor, give somebody a big smile, give them a compliment, and just watch how they glow up. So thank you. Bye.